Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Friday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 6 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right, you guys probably already noticed some differences in today's video. I do have my usual black shirt. I still have it on, but it's underneath. And I'm running late. I'm running later than usual this morning. I usually would have made this video a couple hours earlier. I have a crazy busy day with my painting and a few other things that I'm working on. And I wasn't planning on doing a video until later this morning. And I came across a story that really caught my attention. And it raises some serious questions for me if politics play a role in this decision. And I just wanted to talk about it ASAP. So here we go. ALEC Baldwin being charged with involuntary manslaughter. I believe it's 4th degree involuntary manslaughter that he's being charged with, because on the set of Rust, he was handed a prop. I'm specifically saying he was handed a prop. And it turned out that prop was not checked properly, and it resulted in the death of Helena Hutchings. And he's being charged with 4th degree involuntary manslaughter, which carries a penalty of up to 18 months. At one place I saw 18 months, one place I saw 1 to 5 years. So, and this didn't make sense to me. I'm gonna have a comparison at the end of this, later in this video, where I kind of, as usual, I try to use empathy and see if you guys agree with this, because this doesn't make sense to me. I wonder if politics play a role in this. Okay, so ALEC Baldwin and Hannah Gutierrez Reed are both being charged. She was the prop handler, and they're both being charged with involuntary manslaughter. Now, there's the on-set safety coordinator, which I would imagine, apparently there was live rounds laying around the set. I would figure that he would be the most culpable of all these people, but according to the links down below, the special prosecutor, who I'm going to talk more about in a second, considers him the least culpable, which doesn't make any sense to me. He plea bargained, and he's looking at misdemeanor negligent use of a firearm, negligent handling of a firearm. So I looked at this, and it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So I wanted to see, because we all know ALEC Baldwin and what he's been famous for as of late. Saturday Night Live skits where he does a fantastic impression of the ex-president Donald Trump. And I have of course, you have a feeling that Republicans and especially Trump supporters wouldn't particularly care for him. So I started thinking about this, and I wanted to see who the prosecutor was. And it's a special prosecutor. Her name is Andrea Reeb. She retired as a DA in New Mexico, but she ran for representative in New Mexico legislature. She is a Republican representative in the New Mexico legislature. That's who is prosecuting ALEC Baldwin. So I'm starting to, So I tried to think of some comparisons. Andrea Reeb says that just because he's an A-list celebrity, he's got to be treated fairly like everybody else. And this is what she says. She says, when handling a firearm, he needs to treat it just like everybody else, to not point it at other people. I learned these rules when my father had me handling firearms when I was 5, 6 years old. And never point any weapon, treat all weapons as if they're loaded, et cetera, et cetera. And he said, and Andrea Reeb said that he did not do this, that he did not treat it like this. And I have a problem with that right there. Because ALEC Baldwin, the situation here, ALEC Baldwin is an actor. And what he was handed was, to him and to everybody else on the set, was a prop. It wasn't a firearm. Off the top of my head, for instance, if you see somebody riding a motorcycle, I watched a movie yesterday with Mark Wahlberg riding a motorcycle, and that it's not really driving, that it's connected to the back of a truck, and they're filming it, and he's not even really driving the motorcycle. So would that be considered a real motorcycle? Would he be charged with going through stop signs, or if they were in a prop car, would they have to wear seatbelts? It doesn't make any sense. ALEC Baldwin was handling a prop, not a firearm. So she's holding him to a different standard here. another short, just in short, I want to make this other comparison. I tried to, because this story made me kind of feel anxiety or nervous. It feels like somebody like even me could be charged and end up in jail just for a very simple, honest mistake where you had no intention of ever hurting anybody, just doing your job, and possibly due to other people's negligence, somebody ends up getting hurt, and if he could end up looking at 1 to 5 years or 18 months in prison for just doing your job as you saw, and having a mistake happen, that doesn't seem right. It makes me feel anxiety with empathy and everything. So I started thinking of this: what if I brought my car in to have the brakes fixed? All right, and I got it back. I'm driving down the road and the brakes fail. And God forbid, I run over somebody, a youngster, let's say. Should I be charged in this? It's a terrible thing. But to me, this is a very close comparison here. Obviously, the person that fixed the brakes might be culpable in this. He knew this. He knew the driver would be getting back in my car, and that something dangerous could happen as brakes are necessary to operate the car. But should I be charged? Is it my responsibility to crawl under the car and check to make sure the brakes are, before I drive, after my brakes are done, should I crawl underneath the car and double check everything? No, that's not that should not be expected of me. Just like I feel Alec Baldwin should, to him, that was a prop. That was part of his job. To him, it wasn't a firearm. He was doing his job. He was handed a prop, just like a prop spear, a prop motorcycle, a prop car aren't actually what they appear to be in the movies. So they shouldn't be, these actors shouldn't be held to that standard. To them, they are just props. And, I can't imagine how smoothly a movie set would go if every time an actor had to go through and check a car or a motorcycle for safety regulations or for a firearm or anything else. Movies would never get made. They'd be, trillions of dollars in expenses if actors had to check all this stuff themselves. It doesn't make sense. It really seems like this Republican special prosecutor is holding Alec Baldwin to a different standard, an unattainable, ridiculous standard to me. Let me know what you guys think. The links will all be down below. Have a good Friday.